Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Double Digit Podcast. I am your host, Omer. I will not be joined by Imad today. However, I am joined by a lovely cast of people.
My name is Jomana.
I'm Sakiena.
I'm Maha.
Maha doesn't like to keep a straight face, so she will be giggling in the background throughout this entire conversation. So today we want to talk about a little bit of stuff. Actually, before we get into that, I wanted to get to know you guys. What are you guys? Don't do that.
Who are you guys?
I'm in grade
Who are you guys? Yeah, give us a background of who you guys are.
let me tell you about
Jomana,
myself.
please, yes. Of course.
This may take a while. So, my name is Jomana. I am a cat lady without a cat. I am in grade 11 and I go to GLA. and
Okay,
that's pretty much
Sakiena.
it.
I am a cat lady with a cat, but no lady.
I am a cat lady and I have a cat.
Yes.
And you're a lady.
I'm Maha, and I don't really. I have a cat.
She doesn't like her cat.
You don't like your cat?
I love my cat. That is a lie.
Yo, I love my cat.
my
I love her cat more than
I'm
she
just
loves
allergic
her
to
What are your
cats.
cat's names?
I have one cat.
Luna.
It's Teddy.
Koji.
Whiskers, mittens.
Man, you are sad.
Disgusting.
Okay, I'll
So,
get a cat.
today we have a mostly ladies podcast. Not me, obviously. Of course.
Really?
But
thought
I was
that.
there is a topic I'd like to talk to you guys about, and it's interesting because we won't be able to have the conversation with just guys because most of us don't wear makeup, and that's where we're getting into it. I want to talk about the why women wear makeup, what's appealing to it. Is it because women think they might not look as well without makeup? Is it because they just like makeup? You know, it's dependent. And even nowadays, guys are starting to wear makeup. And, you know, it's just because, makeup makes you look better or makeup makes you look nice.
Well, I have a story to add on to that. I recently went camping, and
You wear
it
makeup
was
camping?
no, it was an Islamic camp.
What
And
does that have to do with anything?
Makeup's
No.
haram. Don't you guys know that?
No. It was
Haram means forbidden.
it was an Islamic camp, and while I was there, we brought the topic came on to makeup, and someone asked if it was haram to wear makeup, and the person there, she was like, "Oh, I hate makeup," and like girls only wear it because they think they look ugly and stuff like that, and even on my wedding day, I only wore like lip balm and stuff like that. It was like really weird, but it just made me wonder because I wear makeup and I love makeup. I don't wear it because I think I'm ugly. I wear it because I love wearing it.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing. Like, I would correspond that to guys is a beard. Like, most guys like beards because it makes your facial structure sharper. Like, I don't have a jawline, but with the beard, it kind of makes it look like that. Kind of.
The
Please
contour.
stop laughing at me. It kind of, shut up. I look pretty.
You're fooling us.
But yeah, but guys don't grow a beard because they look ugly. I think guys look ugly without beards, but that's my own opinion.
Whoa.
I know what you look like without a beard.
Yeah, I've shaved
Well,
once in my life.
Let's look
Okay.
at you. Let's look
Yeah,
at
I've
you
never
in
shaved
grade
before.
8.
Yeah, don't look at me in grade. I got like a weird
Grade eight.
mustache thing. Anyways, what are you guys? So Maha, you said you don't wear makeup.
I don't. Okay, I personally don't like wear makeup. I don't like how it feels on my face or whatever. But I think it's such a pretty, like, it's like in my opinion, it's an art. Like, some people, it's a very nice talent. Like, where people can blend in colors and make like different make themselves look a bit different, even though like you can look natural as well. But like example, eyeshadow and stuff. But I don't think it's because some girls wear it because they have insecurities and they don't want to cover themselves, and that's perfectly fine. But other girls wear it because it just makes them feel better or makes them feel happy, or they just, example, my best friend, she loves doing it. It's just, I think it's
She
very.
pointed at Jomana at this point.
Sakina's just sitting off here.
No, you know, that's just the mayor.
I'm good.
Yeah, you and me, we go way back.
Yeah, honestly.
100%.
Ew.
It's just different.
Ouch.
I think it's just different for every person, but like there's nothing wrong with it at all.
Yeah, so what is your take on makeup and appearance?
Okay, here's the thing, like, so people are always saying, oh, like, I don't want to see, like, there's a whole art aspect of it, like, oh, it's such a beautiful art. It takes talent, like, it takes a lot of talent. People spend hours and years of their lives on this, right? But, like, people are like, oh, girls are only wearing makeup because, like, they feel like they're ugly or they have some self-esteem issues. Like, what the hell's wrong with that? Like, honestly.
Let's get it right.
Yeah,
all right,
like,
let's get it.
Like, honestly, like, some days, like, if I'm feeling super bad about myself, or, like, I had a test and I was studying last night for, like,
Put
6
some
hours,
mascara,
I
put
look
some
terrible, everything,
eyeliner.
I'm gonna put on some mascara. Nobody's really gonna notice. I don't really look that different, but it kind of makes you feel like, oh, I put in an effort. There's something, like, you know, to protect me from the world's gaze
You
or
look
whatever.
slightly better than.
Yeah, like, there's just, like, it's more of a, sometimes for some people, it's more of a psychological boost than anything else. It makes you feel good about yourself, and what's wrong with that? Like, there's nothing that affects other people about somebody else feeling good about themselves and looking good. Like,
So let's
You
say
know?
a guy comes up and says this, like, not like maybe not to you, but he says this in passing, goes like, oh, girls only wear makeup because they're ugly. All right, pretend, okay, let's have a little scenario thing, all right? So you guys are in a group, and I walk up and I'm talking to my friend, and I go, yeah, man, girls only wear makeup because they're all ugly underneath it. Well, what are you guys' responses to that?
Well, I'd slap him.
like
Right, don't do that.
Yeah,
Let's not get that
kind
committed to the bit.
Okay, so, like, I'm not saying, like, all guys or whatever, but I'm saying, like, if you're probably saying that, like, we have to suffer and look at your ugly face every day without
Exactly,
makeup.
no,
Like,
that's
at
beautiful.
least
That's incredible.
we're
I love that.
protecting the world from whatever we don't want them to see, and, like, that's kind of, it's like a benefit.
Like,
for
we can
society,
change ourselves.
You know?
What are they gonna do when we
Yeah.
say looking like that?
And honestly, what do they know? Because we're like, they don't know why we're wearing makeup, right? So they have no right to say those things.
I don't
Yeah.
think it's fair either.
I
As
think-
well, for someone else who doesn't wear the makeup or doesn't have that, like, experience or anything, to say, like, oh, they only do it for this reason. Because if you're not in my shoes, if you're not in another woman's shoes, you have no right to say, oh, women feel this way. If like,
There's also a thing that people say where it's like, oh, makeup is like a marketing scheme, a marketing scam, where it's like, makeup's really expensive from what I know. Like, my sister, she talks about how makeup's always so expensive.
yeah.
Right? Actually, I have a friend who was getting makeup for his girlfriend once as like a gift for her birthday or something. And he said that he was planning on getting her like a set of everything. And he's like, that cost me so much
Nice.
money. Like, it was like, I don't...
Yeah.
And he was complaining about that. And people say that, oh, makeup is like something made by corporations who are just like, oh, put on makeup and you look beautiful, and that they don't want money and stuff. Do you guys think that's like a factor in your lives? Is in like, you're like, oh, you know, if people say it's a marketing scheme, what would you say to that?
Definitely, like, there's been that whole aspect of, oh, it's the beauty myth. Media is, like, kind of constantly marketing towards you to make you feel inadequate and make you want to put stuff on. But I feel like that topic has been rehashed and, like, talked over so much by people who aren't even wearing makeup in the first place. Like, yes, there is this issue of, like, an unhealthy stereotype being put towards young women, but have we not talked about that so much? Why aren't we talking about, okay, how is this art form making people feel? Like, there are benefits that still, like, this is a complex topic, and I feel like it's strange that always the people bringing up these issues of, like, oh, the beauty myth, oh, media's predatory influence or whatever, like, they're not people who have used makeup or benefit from it. They're always outsiders looking in and being kind of judgmental. Like, that's something to be explored within the space of, like, how is this affecting me? Should I step away from it? Not from somebody else who's like, yo, you should realize that you're being targeted and you're stupid and can't see that somebody's trying to eat you with their products.
All their money
You know?
grabbing hands and stuff. Yeah, it's like, it's a weird thing. There's also the whole aspect of makeup creating self-esteem issues, where you know, celebrities and stuff they all look beautiful outside and stuff like that, and at times even like male celebrities, they at times they wear makeup and they look very, very nice, right? And people try to get to that kind of level and they can't, and they're like, oh, I'm not beautiful because I'm not like this person, right? Do you guys think that might be an issue that is a cause through you know, accessories like that, or do you think it's just a thing that would
I
happen
think it's a
regardless?
psychological thing, like, because, like, yes, it's like when you see yourself in a certain way and, like, you think you look better in that, and then when you take it off, it's like you're back to how you were, and there's like, but, and then you're in your eyes, you're like, oh, I'm not as great. But I think it's with I don't, like, I think anything can do that. Like,
Yeah.
whether it's your clothes, whether it's just, like, normal, like, you know, your work, people feel so, like, bad about themselves when they're doing certain work. Like, makeup is just another thing, but it's a more psychological. It's not because it's makeup or it changes your appearance.
So you guys think it's like more of a shield than more of like a beauty product? It's like, oh, I'm shielding myself from either my insecurities or from people telling me about talking to me about my insecurities and stuff like that.
Well, I don't feel that way, honestly. I don't know about them, but I don't wear it as a shield at all. I just enjoy doing it. It makes me, like, I like feeling pretty, and, like, even then I still think I look nice. without
Yeah.
makeup, and so like I feel like there's nothing wrong with it. But when I was at camp, they were talking about girls who when they wear makeup to hide their insecurity, they were talking about it as if it was like the worst thing ever. And honestly, if you do that, then you probably just have a problem with how you look without makeup, and you probably take it off, you're like, oh, I'm back to my old self. And honestly, like, I don't think there's anything wrong with anyone without makeup,
Yeah.
because I think everyone's beautiful anyways. So
It's a good like.
Now I feel awkward.
I know.
Now I feel awkward.
Yeah,
hey
but
Maha, you're beautiful.
I like what Maha said about it being
Uh.
like clothes or whatever. Like, it's not really like, for some people it might be to cover up an insecurity. Like, I don't know, somebody might wear a pair of jeans because they think they
look
are
better
more,
in those
they're more
pair of
flattering
jeans,
to
yeah.
their figure, or
Oh,
they might
okay.
wear,
I never actually thought of it that way.
yeah,
That's
or
interesting.
yeah,
That's
or
an
they
interesting way
might
to
wear
put
a
it.
shirt because like they want to show off the fact that they're obsessed with this band or whatever. So it's two things. It's like expression. It's like highlighting what's good, what you feel good about yourself, and it's like, you know, kind of drawing away from the things that maybe you're not such a big fan of. So
Or,
it's
I hate to like cut
yeah.
you in. For example, like everyone has their like, you know, like their like that feature or whatever.
Yeah.
For example, like if someone's eyes, like they're gonna want to play with, put like eyeshadow on or something like that. But if someone has like really nice lips, they're gonna play with like a with bold lipstick and stuff. And if someone has really nice curves, they're gonna wear like nice like, you know, jeans with like a
Yeah.
shirt and everything. It just all plays into like different things that can make you feel like you can express yourself, you can feel better, or you're just happy like that.
Okay.
And like honestly, it's like there's always gonna be people with like fashion or whatever who like are fine with wearing just like an abaya or whatever, and they have like a beautiful personality, but you don't.
Before you go there, an abaya is a long. How do you explain like a
long
robe?
dress.
A long dress.
Yeah.
A long black dress.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like you don't go up to somebody who's wearing like a flashy red jacket and orange pants and be like, no, why don't you show off your modesty instead of your shirt? So like why can't
Okay,
you
yeah.
do the same thing? See?
I see what you guys mean. So that's an interesting way to put it. It's to magnify the beauty that you already have,
Mhm.
right? So yeah, so you focus on those aspects of it. That's interesting because I've never thought of it in that kind of sense before. Well, obviously, I've never worn makeup. Well, I've worn makeup once, but that wasn't
Okay.
that was a joke. But
Really?
it was
Are
a
you
joke.
sure?
Yeah, it was a joke. Well, okay, I don't know. I didn't feel anything about it. It just comes out.
No judgment.
Guys, God, okay, this is a judgment-free zone. Oh my God. I was going somewhere with this, and you guys all cut me off. Okay, so you guys think it's magnifying beauty in and of itself instead of it just being a shield or
Yeah.
protection from your insecurities. That's an interesting way to put it. What do you guys think of like? So, how do I explain this? You have so many different types of makeup and stuff like that. Is there like, when as you were saying, Jomana, you were saying that some women even tear down women who wear makeup because they don't believe in it. And for you personally, it's been with Muslims. Muslims have been saying it because they believe it's forbidden in our religion to wear makeup because you're supposed to show your natural beauty and all that kind of stuff. When in fact you have the opposite opinion of that. You think makeup is like a thing you should explore for 100%. So what is like, why do you think that would be, I'm just walked in. Why do you think that's the case? Why do you think, not just Muslim women, why do you think some women tear down women who wear makeup? Like, why would women do that?
I guess it's all opinion based, really.
Yeah.
Because I guess they just never were into the idea of wearing makeup, so they just only found negative things about it.
Yeah, okay.
I feel like it's also how you've grown up. For example, like I have like, you know, the brown culture. It's like if you're if you're like a girl and you're wearing makeup, it's like, oh, you're trying to like, you know, you're like trying to show off, or you're like
Yeah.
you're looking old. You look older now with your makeup, and you're gonna get married now. It's all like it's just dumb.
Makeup leads to marriage.
Yeah,
Everyone
like all of
knows
a
that.
sudden,
God,
like
yeah.
duh.
It's either
course.
marriage or your
You're
dad.
yeah. So it's like it's like culture wise how you've grown up, or how you like, if you're just like, some people are more closed minded than others. It's just all that.
And I can kind of like relate to that whole thing of like women tearing each other down, because like for like a long time in my life I was like, oh, like being a tomboy is so cool, whatever. Like
Yeah, there's a lot of people
yeah,
who go to that
there's
stage.
and like I
Yeah.
think that's kind of interesting that like now we have these like young girls and stuff who it's like, okay, these things are bad, and they're bad because they're feminine, like traditionally feminine or whatever. Like, why do we have to like have these kinds of like it's kind of like a self-hatred that like you're
Yeah.
kind of getting programmed into, like, oh, this is something that women in the past have traditionally done. Now you're being told, okay, that's bad.
I get what you
yeah,
mean.
like, I don't know how to
I get where you're
explain
going
it,
with it. It's like Tumblr. where they attack everything that is just everything.
Just- yeah,
everything.
yeah.
Like, everything's a bad thing.
Yeah.
You know, like, oh, men are horrible people.
Yeah.
Because they're men. There's no
Yeah.
other reason. And stuff like that. I get exactly what you
Yeah.
mean. It's that dynamic where you're growing up with, oh, makeup used to be a thing where you would put on and go outside, and you in the 50s where women were subjugated and,
Yeah.
submissive and all that kind of stuff. And now that it's come out now, and
Yeah.
women are powerful and strong and optimistic about their future endeavors, you shouldn't be wearing that because it's a symbol of your oppression, of women oppression.
That's like a huge thing. Like I have friends and family members, whatever. Like I'm not super good with makeup. Like I don't really have. I don't have so much time that I've spent putting into that. But like I have family members who are like, oh, as like a liberated woman or whatever, why are you putting that on your face for a man? But I think that's so backwards. Like the fact that anything that I'm putting on my face or my friends are putting
It's
on
for
their
me.
faces, it's for
Yeah.
them. And the fact that you think that you can think better than like a woman about what she's doing for herself, that's super weird.
If
That's
I want
kinda
gold
sexist.
eyeshadow, it's because I want it, not because he wants it.
I want to explore that because that's another thing that comes up all the time where you wear stuff for other people. Like if sometimes a guy goes out and he's like looking nice, like, oh, who's the girl you're wearing that for? And,
Me, I'm the girl.
but yeah, no, but for girls it's about if you don't traditionally wear makeup, when you wear makeup you're like, oh, there's a guy out there for you, right? So why, like, do you think that's an avenue do you think that in time that might be something that would happen to you, or you would like dress prettier for a guy, or do you just enjoy dressing pretty because you just enjoy being pretty?
I feel like it depends on the scenario,
Yeah, it's
though. Like, example, if like you have a husband and you want to look good for him, like just to make like just for him, like for the
Yeah.
sake of it, like of course, but you're not doing it for yourself. You're doing it for someone else, but sometimes you just want to look good for yourself.
Oh,
I think it's just scenarios.
well, what's the reasoning for looking good for yourself? Like
It makes you feel good.
Just explain it.
Like yesterday I did a face mask and I like
What's
took,
a face mask? Before we go on, because I have no idea what that is.
Okay, a face mask is like, it could be a cream or like a sheet with like stuff on it,
Okay.
and you just put it on your face. You kind of look like a ghost, or just really weird. You know, in movies you see people with green faces.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's
That's
a
cool.
face
The
mask.
green
The
face
cucumbers.
mask. That's
Yeah,
just
with the
frightening.
cucumbers.
Alright, go
Yeah,
on.
that's a face mask. So it's really beneficial for your skin. So I put that on, and I put on like a new and I washed my face with like this new cleanser. I exfoliated. I took care of myself really,
it's like you
right?
get your life together.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
okay.
it felt
Life together.
and it felt really good. And I had like candles, and it was really nice, and I felt really relaxed. And and when I was about to go to bed, I have a really hard time sleeping, and I just felt so relaxed. I just fell asleep right away, right?
That's interesting.
So I felt prettier after all of that, right? And I felt good about myself, and it's just so relaxing, and it's so good for anyone to do that, whether you're a boy or girl.
Here's the thing. People say, well, nowadays, self-esteem issues are more romanticized than fought against. It's like, oh, you think you look ugly, you're one of us now. That kind of, yeah, it's that kind of thing. So no, you saying I felt like I look pretty. You think you do look pretty without or with makeup. It's alien to me, for one thing. I've actually not heard many people say that, where they go, oh, I do think I look nice, and it's good. It's a great thing.
Yeah.
Could you explain or could you guys all explain how do you get to that point in which you're like, oh, I feel like I look nice, like I look good, and that's okay? Because the that's okay part is the part which everyone forgets about. Everyone goes, oh yeah, you can look nice, but that's a bad thing. You shouldn't be thinking that, because you looking nice means someone else looks ugly, and they're self-conscious about themselves because you look pretty. And it's like, okay, come on, like let's people have some kind of joy in their
I
lives.
think it's like, and you kind of have to, like, it's like, it can sound rude or it can sound like mean, but you kind of have to block out people's opinion from your life, and you have to focus on yourself. Because if you don't feel good about yourself, it can really ruin your entire day. On like the smallest things can affect you or whatever. So if you like focus on just yourself and focus on like, oh, it doesn't matter if they don't think I look nice, but I think this thing looks nice on me, or like this makeup looks nice on me, then who cares?
Facts.
Then who cares?
Who cares?
No, it should honestly be like, if someone's putting you down, like based on something that you really like to do, like, it's not their life. It's not affecting them. They're not getting sad that you're wearing makeup. It's not their face. It's not their body. It's not their life. They are no one to judge you for what you are doing to yourself. Unless you're harming yourself.
Yeah.
That's a different story. That's a different story.
Yeah.
That's a
All
different
right,
story.
yeah, that's last episode.
The other thing that you were just saying was like, sometimes it's not like, oh, you look in the mirror and you're like, damn, I look good. I feel good about myself. Sometimes it's like self-esteem is not like something, I don't know, like it's not something that can always come from yourself. Sometimes you need good friends and like people around you who validate you. And I'm not saying that's a good thing, like, oh, you should rely on other people.
But you're not saying it's a bad thing either.
But I'm not saying it's a bad thing.
That's
I'm saying that, like, making an effort and having people reflect that back onto you, like, being like, oh, yeah, like, I see you look nice today, like, that's great. And having nice people around you who do that.
Get people who notice you.
Yeah, there's
That's
nothing
good.
harmful about that.
And
Go on.
oh, sorry. Coming from someone who used to have like really big self-esteem issues, where like I didn't think I was pretty at all, and like
Go on, it's fine.
like I used to act kind of like I was selfish a bit, like not a lot, but just sometimes, only around like my sisters and my brother.
Yeah.
Only so like I can hide the fact that I don't look pretty at all, because they're like, oh yeah, you only care about yourself, you only think that you're pretty, when honestly I always thought the opposite. And I was like, no, I do not feel that way. But I never told them that, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And honestly, a good way to get rid of that feeling of not thinking that you're pretty is knowing that everyone around you, if everyone around you is beautiful, why can't you be beautiful? And it's always keeping a positive attitude about yourself, because the more negative you are about it, the more it's just, you're never gonna be able to help that, right?
Yeah. And optimism is a hard thing to get through.
Can I just chime in here? Like, I'm kind of like putting a disclaimer on this. Like, I know lots of people, I'm not saying all guys, I'm saying some guys, are just like, oh, like, why are girls so obsessed with the concept of being pretty or, like, wanting to look nice? Firstly, society, you already talked about this, society has ingrained into women a greater consciousness of how they look, and people
be perfect.
Objectification of women is a big issue in our society, and naturally these feelings are going to be reflected back into ourselves. Secondly, Allah is beautiful and loves beauty. That's a big deal in Islam, like, you know.
Allah, we mean God.
Yeah.
For
So
those of you who don't
in
know.
Islam, so like it's kind of like there's nothing wrong with wanting to look nice. Like, I'm sick of this whole like vilification of the idea that you should want to look nice in the first place. Like,
oh, there's nothing wrong if you don't want to wear makeup or anything.
Yeah,
like you're not a bum if you don't.
Yeah,
like
like-
it's all good.
there's
Like you do you.
Mhm. There's nothing wrong with caring about your appearance, and there's nothing wrong with focusing on your internal side. And
Yeah.
just because you look nice doesn't mean that you can't, you know, have a character
Yeah.
and morals and
Do you
values.
guys also think that like for like I was talking about celebrities before, movies do this kind of thing where it's in like a high school movie, for example, the pretty
pretty people
girls are the jerks.
Yeah.
They're the ones that you don't want to.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, that girl's it can get really intense with that. Do you
Yeah.
guys think like that's also a factor where it's like, oh man, that girl looks hot. No,
No.
I'm not gonna.
It can like people can think that, but I don't think that's true, because you
It's
can't
not very
judge someone unless you actually have talked to them or.
Oh no, I get that. I'm talking about like the stereotyping of makeup is ingrained with makeup leads to
Okay.
mean
girls,
people.
you know?
Yeah,
No.
makeup leads to mean girls.
Yeah.
You know, like that stereotype. Do you think that kind of the like movies kind of enunciate that in a way where they ingrain into you like, oh, makeup means
they do,
bad.
Yeah, definitely.
But then
100%.
they also go, makeup means good.
Yeah, like Mean
What do I
Girls.
do?
Mean Girls is such a famous movie, and like they're pretty, like the pretty people or whatever. They're like so rude and stuff, but like.
Okay, the thing that's so weird about movies is like you have this movie where all the mean people are beautiful and like spend a lot of time on their makeup, and then like our main character, she's like kind of more intelligent, I don't know, nerdy, and like she doesn't care that much about her appearance. And then for like the climactic scene, you have her get a makeover and go there
You
to
get her like,
You
oh
should.
my god!
I've actually watched all of the
ponytail.
Princess Diaries is
Yes,
the one I watched when that
Princess
happened. It was
Diaries.
awesome.
Yeah,
But
that
that's what I'm trying to get
Yeah.
at, where it's like, oh, you know, like, oh, this girl's pretty, but she sucks. But this girl's pretty, but she's nice. Huh, what do I,
Like, it's
where
so
do I go in
confusing,
this
like-
route?
Like, to show them up, she looks pretty, but is secret. Like, it's like you have to have a glow up from being intelligent and less outwardly attractive to being attractive. I don't know what it is, but like, why can't she wear glasses and be happy, and why can't she wear makeup and be happy?
There's even the movie, The Duff,
I
where
watched that recently, where they give her the entire.
they like focus on, like, that's the entire focus.
Like,
of
she's
the
the ugly friend.
designated ugly
ugly
fat
fat-
friend.
yeah,
that is the rudest
Why
thing
not
in the
the
world.
designated intelligent and more interesting
Conversation
conversation
friend?
friend?
I didn't like her. No, she wasn't all that great.
I
She like watched the weirdest movies.
I watched the movie in like grade 8. I can't
I watched it
remember.
a few weeks
But
ago.
you know that's
I watched like a
you know
bunch
that's
of
Katara?
movies.
Isn't that so weird?
What?
That's Katara, like the girl who's the dove.
What? The Duff is Katara
Yeah.
from Avatar?
Oh
Are
my
you
god,
kidding
really?
me?
The dove is Katara.
I never even watched Avatar, but, like, I know who that
I
is.
cannot hear that. That's weird.
Yeah, I could
Wait,
not
I now
see
need to
it.
watch that movie again and hear her voice.
No, you need to watch Avatar because you haven't watched Avatar. What's wrong with you?
No,
And
I
with
don't
that-
like Avatar.
You have to watch Avatar. It's great.
Sucks.
Okay.
Yeah.
With that, we're gonna end this episode. So thank you guys so much for coming and giving me
You're
your
welcome.
opinions and giving. Thanks, Jomana. Jomana's probably one of the most what's the word?
Best.
Aggressive people that I know.
She's not gentle at all.
No, but
Excuse me.
it's-
That's only with you.
It's great, Jomana. You be you.
Yes.
I will be me.
Umair, you be Umair.
Oh, I'll be Umair. Yeah, thank you.
I'll be Umair too.
Oh yeah, okay. Jomana will be Umair. I'll be Umair. Let's all be Umair, guys.
I'm good. I'm
Okay,
good.
fine.
Wow,
Maha wants to be
okay.
Maha. I see how it is.
We should all be Jomana, honestly. I'll be Omer.
That was Jomana.
Did you
by
miss
the
the
way.
whole concept of self-love?
Yeah.
No, this is self-love. This is going extreme though.
Yeah, I love myself so much. I want you
She
guys
wants
to
everyone to experience her love of herself.
Okay.
Well, anyways, everyone try to be like Jomana, I guess. Love yourself. Thank you guys so much for coming. I am your host, Omer. With us we have Jomana, Sakiena, and Maha, the golden trio of the grade 11 girls at GLA. Thank you guys so much for coming.
Thank you.
No problem.
you.
Thanks.
And we hope you guys tune in next episode.